this over to the other side though. There we go. This over to the other side though. Okay, well, I'm good. I'm all set up correctly. Okay. Kind of weird seeing that avatar's head from the body.
Well, I mean, it's part of the process of literally taking off the head and putting it on something else, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell from like most of the avatars that Mia's uh made. So like she's literally been ripping off ruby heads and putting them on other
Yeah.
things. I'm honestly scared to imagine what else she's made.
Yeah, most of them are pretty good avatars, actually.
Oh no, no, no. I always see her messing around with Blender and PMX editor so
Yeah.
much that it's like I think she might be getting better than me.
uh, maybe. Do it enough.
I mean, so this was the body you wanted, right?
Yeah, something a little bit more
Got
like
it.
formal. But yeah, that's the thing I found off of DeviantArt.
Yeah. I noticed. I looked at this earlier, and actually, I looked at this way before my friends ever told me about VR chat.
Yeah. Here's a question I got asked: is like, how in the hell did you get into PMX editor?
There's this site called LearnMMD that gives you some instructions. They're not the, albeit they're not the best.
Yeah.
All I can say is that if you can, well, if you can try your hardest to understand that, that's good on you, but I was you.
Right.
And then teaching this to Mia is like, she gets it the easy way. I've had to go through
The
absolute
painstaking,
pain.
shitty way. I can understand that.
But yeah, but the basic of PMX editor is as long as there's two bones with the same names, one on the model you're importing. So, say for instance, the head bone it has the same name as the other head bone,
Right.
and the neck as the neck. Then everything should be fine. Everything should rig with each other, so it merges the bone once you import it.
One other thing I gotta say is glad to have you on this show because this is literally like just the second show. This is a show that I've been wanting to do, and at least having a person that knows how to do PMX editor and know how to like pretty much kind of customize avatars is kind of good for the show.
Oh, in all honesty, I'm still learning a lot about
Yeah,
it, but I know the gist of it.
yeah.
Like rigging the bodies, the bones, and joints of the bodies.
But like one good thing is about this show is like it teaches people how to do this stuff. It teaches how like kind of complex making avatars can go into. And this isn't even
Not that
scratching the
complex
surface.
when you think about it. It's just
Yeah,
it's like making a body have some type of structure to move around. It's kind of
yeah,
like building a robot, I would say.
yeah. Kind of. It's kind of like complicated but not complicated at the same time.
It's really a weird process.
Yeah. Granted, I can't really do much Avatar stuff because I don't have the time, but I know the gist.
I don't know if it's ever hit motor or not, but it's dying. So whatever PMX does that, it means that something else is taking so much memory, which probably is Blender or just Windows Explorer in general.
Right.
So I had to take this out. Wow, that is way bigger than I intended it to be. And the head small.
Right.
uh, I mean, there's an easy way to fix this. All you just have to do is literally make sure everything's selected. So, like, these are the bodies. These tell MMD to say these are what collides with something else. So, you practically don't need these for VR chat, but uh, in case that my sister uses it for some other oh god, yeah, no. Also, there's also hidden bones to these, which is kind of tedious. The easy way to fix this is literally just to scale it and make sure it's on floor level.
Right.
After what? God! I don't know if my sister told you about this, but I was actually panicking when I heard that it was my time to start with all the tutorials and stuff. And I was like, what should I do?
Fair enough. I was kind of panicking on some stuff as well. Because personally, I haven't talked to you before the stream and stuff like that. So like,
I
well, I
mean,
don't know how
so
this.
far, the only person you've talked to was my sister. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know this person. How am I
Well,
supposed? I don't
quite a
know how
bit
to
to
read
talk to.
personality. So, yeah, this is basically all I'm doing. It's literally just making sure that this looks good with the rest of the body.
Right.
If you really can't see it because of all the red and all this junk around it, you can just make sure that these things at the bottom are deselected. They're still selected up here in the view. It's just that they're not seen. So
Right.
it's kind of like the hide feature in Blender.
Yeah.
Since
Continue.
everything's selected, oh,
Oh.
that's something I didn't want. All right, so after doing that, you can just push this back a bit, and it should look fine. Um, Everything within the thing can be tested through the top area right here where it says the T. It's the transform view, which allows you to go into what Blender calls the pose mode. You familiar with that?
I've only used PMX Editor maybe a couple of times for just basic stuff.
Well, I mean, not PMX editor in general. I'm talking
Yeah.
about like Blender's pose mode.
Mm, besides, not much actually. Pretty much.
So, yeah, so if you go into transform view, it allows you to, oh, oh no.
Oh boy.
Wait, is the head too big? I'm not good with that.
Yeah, it's looking fine to me.
So, if something's not weight tamed correctly, then you can just change like that. Like you can see a
Yeah.
bit of the skin just ripped out there. That's because when Fuzzy sent me this was not rigged to the upper body too, like the chest area.
Right.
So I made it to 100, 75, 50 for each layer of vertexes, and with all this, like, wait. So yeah, now I just have to move the hat and bring it into Blender. if there's any problems within Blender, then it's either a PMX problem, a face problem, which means that like it's like the texture's backwards,
Right,
which is a simple fix. All you just have to do is flip the face to normal or whatever it is, just recalculate it.
right.
And if it's a bone issue, then I don't know. That's a bone.
I think
Don't
fuzzy.
mess with those things oftenly.
Yeah.
Uh, I've also wanted to bring up uh, why was why is this gone?
I don't know. I don't know what that is, to be honest.
Well, I think it might be some type of a hoge or like just some random hair sticking up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be like a facial animation or something, but I don't think my character has that facial animation anyway.
So yeah, this hat's connected to the head bone as per usual to every single MMD model. If
Right.
yours is connected to anywhere else, then you're probably stupid. Uh, and the rest of this should be connected to each other. If it's not, then it's most likely going to cause uh, issues with VR chat.
Right.
Well, technically in Unity in general, Blender also because if your arm's not connected, then you're most likely going to get uh, spider for a person.
Yeah.
Uh, oh, sorry, I don't really know what to say. All right. You got any questions about PMX Editor while I'm working?
like one thing for like the basics of PNX Editor for like people who do not know what they're doing and are just getting into PNX Editor, what kind of advice do you suggest for
If
those people?
I were to suggest any special advice, um, what to learn the most about is literally vertex painting because this thing is about the most easiest that anyone can get. Blender, I've heard Blender's weight painting thing was somehow really hard, but I never used it. I've only used this,
Yeah, Blender's a bit of a issue with people.
so I've heard.
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing. It's not really that it's hard, but it's just that it's like it's a bit meticulous to get into, and Unity is much more fun. Is what
Oh
I
yeah,
heard.
it really is fun.
Whereas Blender's kind of its own kind of dick.
Yeah. Um, so now that the model is basically done, I gotta move this down a bit.
Yeah.
That leg, Jesus. So, anyways, the second most important thing that you should really know about PMX Editor is bones and how they work. Because there's like maybe five different types of bone. One that controls like a whole entire section. So, IK bones, which allows you to control act like one part of an armature. So if you're really lazy and wanted to move an arm upward and not like move the shoulder bone, then the elbow, then the wrist, uh, you can use IK bones, which literally make it like a chain and follow and makes all three bones follow the IK bone.
Right.
Then there's rotation only bones, like the hair or the rest of the body in general. You can tell because MMD uses the PMX editor's way of showing bones as circles and movement bones. which are these square bones right here.
Right.
Uh, so like if you move this, it's going to make everything.
Right. Interesting.
But there's also these tedious ones here that you can tell because there are also transparent circles right here.
Right.
Those are invisible bones. If you don't have this checked, that's going to be the most of your problems because if you don't remove some of these, then they're most likely going to cause you problems in the later future.
Interesting. Um, trying to think of what else we could cover.
I mean, we're not really going into MMD stuff, so bodies and joints aren't really a big deal. Holy.
Fair enough. Uh,
I'll just remove these because that's going to get in the way.
right. Um, when you were teaching Mia how to do stuff, what was the one thing that Mia had a little bit of maybe like hard time to grasp? I was wondering.
Well, honestly, this was when she was in her MMD phase. It was bodies and joints.
Ooh, interesting.
Basically,
Fair enough.
the bodies are kind of like dynamic bones, and the joints are what makes the dynamic bones kind of like chains where they connect and bounce.
Right.
So, like dynamic bones, they make physics and tell MMD to tell that this is a skirt or this is hair. What caused something to bounce?
Right.
Most oftenly, you see it inside, the breast area
Right.
or tail, really.
Yeah. Much like that.
Uh, because joints are what make MMD crash the most. Because if you don't have the joint set up correctly, it will instantly crash the program.
Right.
But we're not going to use it here, and I just deleted the body and the joint just now, so in reality, it doesn't really matter
Right.
because I'll upload my own tutorial on my own YouTube channel
Right.
about bodies and joints because we're talking about VR chat avatar.
Right.
uh, Going back on topic of VR chat, since MMD models don't really have this like upper chest bone, because if you go into Unity, there's this like one that doesn't usually have anything linked to it. Is it really needed?
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay. Now, is there anything else that you would like to share on PMX Editor for like tutorial wise? Because I can't
Well,
think of anything.
other than weight painting, which is like the most simplest thing here,
Right.
no. Oh wait, yeah. For those who don't know about the Mathy tool, or if you have the Japanese version of PMX Editor, uh, if you go right here to this tool, MSK, it allows you to deselect certain things and allows you to view certain parts. So if you were to deselect most of the body here, if it would stop going to the top, as you can see, I made the eyes disappear.
Right.
If I re-click it again, the eyes reappear. So it's kind of good for selecting certain materials.
Right.
And if you right click on the list, it allows you to delete the hidden parts. So those that are unchecked are going to be deleted, and the ones that are checked won't be. And vice versa to the one that says delete part.
Right.
Uh,
Hmm.
and that's about it, other than the movement tool, which allows you to change the UVs.
Right.
or textures, how they look. You know?
Okay, okay
I don't know. I'm really just pulling words out of my ass.
then. That's fine too. Um, that should conclude the tutorial portion then.
I mean, there's also this morph slider, but it's not really needed unless you feel that you did something stupid.
Right,
So as you can see, the blinking was all right. It's because I never scaled the head; I scaled the body.
right.
So in general, this thing is fully set up and correctly rigged, hopefully. So
Right,
when I bring it into Blender, it should be fine.
right. Yeah, I'll have to get that to fuzzy then. Right.
So we go into the Blender phase, and then, of course, if you haven't gotten MMP tools yet, you should. I'm talking to the viewers, not you.
Yeah. um,
God, this makes me feel like an idiot when I was doing YouTube videos. All right, so there's the model here. Uh, Forgot to ask, did you really want the hat on the?
I'm thinking I'm gonna tell Fuzzy to have a version with the hat and without the hat, to be honest. So,
Oh, I can remove the hat later on after
yeah,
we get off screen.
yeah, it's fine.
So gotta also make sure you got a Cat Blender plugin.
Yeah, kind of one of the basic things for Blender. We covered that in the Unity and Blender portion
Was that and
for
also
avatars.
removing the doubles? Was that
Yeah.
also covered?
Oh, there's the glasses that people keep using on that avatar. Interesting.
It's classic. And wow, okay. I never saw that on the model.
Yeah, for some reason they're like invisible on the model.
It must be some invisible vertexes because
Yeah,
when Fuzzy sent me the model, well, at least the head portion of it,
yeah,
there was an invisible shoulder armor on it,
yeah.
and like an immense amount of bones. So like he sent me the neck and head, but like the legs and the chest area, those are all there. But
Right.
there was an immense amount of things for like some type of coat.
Yeah, it has a like code on it.
Yeah, so because I found on one of Mia's downloads that the same model, like I saw the head and
Yeah,
body and all that. I noticed that there was also an immense amount of bones, but with like a big coat. Is like, oh dear.
yeah. That's the normal model that I use in VR chat.
Yeah, she was also talking about some type of site that stuff. That,
Ooh, yeah.
uh, have you guys already went over the Blender thing?
Good portion, yeah. For at least like getting the model ready for VR chat and stuff.
Oh, good. Then I don't have to go. I don't have to monologue every
Yeah,
time.
we talked about like the shape keys, the use cats and stuff like that. So we pretty much got all the Blender portion done.
All right. So yeah. Uh,
I don't think
as a
we
little side note, just to make sure that everyone knows, the lower lid's not usually on every single model.
yeah,
So if it's not there, then just keep this as basic.
yeah, I think we got that. I don't think we. Yeah, we went over the vicings and eye tracking somewhat, I think.
Uh,
But I don't think we went with that one part you just said, sadly. Because
so good I
fuzzy,
went over
yeah,
it.
not not professionals. We can't remember everything sometimes.
But anyways, if there's any more to PMX editor, I can always bring it back up. Uh,
Right,
if you can think of anything else to question about it, then I can answer it.
right.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. I can't really think of anything right now.
Uh,
Let's see.
uh, as for the model, if anyone watching this stream is going to ask for a request, I don't really do decimation at all.
Yeah, mostly Fuzzy does the decimation for my models, because decimation is a somewhat pain in the ass sometimes.
Yeah, no, this thing, the head alone was above the polylimit.
Yeah, the avatar I use goes like a good portion over the poly limit. It's like 60, near 60,000. So
Oh, I
yeah,
can tell you this much. Uh, the Velvet model me and my sister created was at least 60K, but
yeah,
with all the weapons that she added to it,
yeah. I can imagine.
I think it went over the limit of 100K, but yet it still runs perfectly for everyone.
Yeah.
Just crashes those with potatoes.
Poly count is usually not what crashes people. It's usually like the amount of freaking people that are in a room. Luckily, so
Not to mention that there's like a plethora of materials.
yeah. Mostly Polycon kind of adds to the load time of the model and stuff
Pretty
like that.
much. So, do you want to link to the Learn MMD site where I learned most of this, or do you not want to have a headache?
I'd actually like that link so that I could put it in the description for the YouTube channel.
Oh, definitely. I'll
Yeah,
put it there. I'll just make sure that I'm not watching a YouTube video as soon as I open Edge.
yeah. You can always just give me the link after the stream and stuff. Yeah, it's fine by me.
Yeah.
And then I can copy and paste that into the description when I export the video to YouTube.
There's also a link to the latest version of PMX Editor, PMD Editor, which is the same as PMX, but less is powerful.
Yeah.
Uh, so basically, that site is the basic go-to to making MMD models, but it's not the best in tutorials because it's not. It really doesn't show any visuals. All it is a bunch of text that usually somewhat
Paragraphs.
nonsense or kind of just.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, so everything was good. Model.
Damn.
Paper. All right, so that really just clears the blender phase, which you guys already did.
Right.
Too lazy to save it, and thank you.
Fair enough.
Uh,
Or goody, the amount of projects that Mia has. Oh Jesus.
oh right, I totally forgot. Mia was on VR chat most of the time, like bogarting the the entirety of the PC that almost wastes most of my bank account balance.
Fair enough.
Uh,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, I really don't this thing. uh, what have you covered on Unity I can uh, that I can do here?
We covered pretty much most of the basics on how to get a model ready to basically upload to VRChat, basically. So like we covered the avatar descriptor, the like bones a little bit, and
Vibing?
uh, yeah, basically everything that you need to get it ready for VRChat.
Uh,
We even covered the like dynamic bone settings as well, because Fuzzy has like
oh, dynamic. Okay, now I need to really watch this.
yeah we like Fuzzy has these literally sticky notes that have just the settings all set up for him to copy and paste that
That
he uses.
is probably a good idea. I should probably do that too.
Yeah, he has like he probably like tested his settings and stuff and found settings that work for him.
Right.
Of course, he was working on the Neko avatar that he had used that one time.
Huh. This is probably really boring.
I mean, for to be fair, when you're making an avatar and stuff, it can be learning can be boring, but also if you're like in the long run, you're gonna have like that good feeling of like I got this avatar completely done when other people are struggling and stuff like that. I certainly had that when I was making avatars. And let's just say the first avatar I made didn't look that great.
Oh, trust me, I literally had to help Mia make the Ruby Hoppo that you guys saw, and
Yeah.
that alone was kind of the worst thing I could ever imagine making because it gave me so much headaches at first. Because Mia gave up when it was in the PMX phase, and she
uh-huh.
was still learning PMX editor.
Right.
And then when she went into the Blender phase, she was like, all my work is gone because most of the script's been decimated.
Yeah, making your first avatar is definitely hard, but then you start learning and learning, and then you just get better and better at it. It
Yeah.
it definitely has a good feeling when you get to that point, though.
Once you know what you can do, it's like everything's common knowledge to you, and
Yeah,
next thing you know, you're making models like no other, making avatars as if you were God.
yeah, like Mia.
Surprisingly, yes.
Yeah,
If anything, I'm more worried that she's going to be stuck to the computer.
fair enough.
But just because I'm really lazy and I really don't want to waste time. It's
Right.
pretty honest.
34 minutes now.
34 minutes. 34 minutes, and we're already done with this phase.
Yep.
That might be easier.
That's what happens when you know what you're doing, at least.
Pretty much.
If you're just starting, you're gonna be like probably like 2-3 hours.
I mean, if I didn't know what I was doing, then this would have taken like what, 5 days?
Probably. I know
Because
that
when me and Mia first started, well, Mia took like more than a week.
yeah.
Because she learned this off me, it took me 3 weeks just to figure out what the heck I was doing with Unity.
Yeah. Certainly took me a while when I was using Unity. Luckily, I have Fuzzy to pretty much do all my avatars at this point because I don't have time for it.
Seriously, those ones. Oh, glasses came with.
Yeah, there's the glasses.
Do you want these on there? Or...
Yeah, I think Fuzzy will be able to handle them.
Alright, I'll send them the FBX and if you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, I always found how funny the scaling for Unity is.
Well,
Scaling's always
kind of weird for me because this one says 20, and then like the armature in general is all like 1 or usually
yeah.
100. That's the weirdest thing for me. It's like I didn't know you were supposed to scale this one, not the entire body.
Yeah.
What would be the average price for female hair?
One thing that I think we didn't cover in Unity is in the VRC SDK. There's a like test dummy in there that you can use to test your heights. Ironically, which
I
we can
never
cover.
use that because I really think it's more of
Yeah.
the more you do it without the
Yeah. The more
training
you
method,
do it
the
without it,
more
the more
it
you're gonna
becomes
learn.
common knowledge to you, and you
Yeah.
just use that preset value.
Yeah.
I mean, Mia probably uses it all the time. As for me, that's really stupid.
Yeah. I always just use like a pre-done avatar that someone had made, basically.
uh, well, yeah, that works too, but
Yeah.
that just adds more things to remove off your asset.
Yeah. Well, I always had just usually one project folder for my avatars when I would do them.
Ah, oh. Like,
Yeah,
where'd the ball go?
yeah, that always kind of annoyed the hell out of me was positioning that avatar descriptor.
Yeah, the thing about the descriptor is you can't like use this little
Yeah.
scrolling arrow to move it. You literally have to put in values, which
Mhm.
really is the most tedious thing here on Unity.
Yeah.
I mean, other than dynamic bone mapping, that you can at least edit
Yeah.
with a scrolling map. This, on the other hand, so everything else aside from what I've literally just said was covered.
Yeah, basically.
All right. Also, by the way, I've also been meaning to ask, well, not really being mean to ask, more being pestered to ask, when are we going to do the crazy thing?
Wait, what?
So, uh, while Mia still let me onto the computer, I went to your server and stated, "When are we going to do the crazy things?"
The crazy things. Um, well, the show is pretty much gonna be weekly. So next Sunday is gonna be the next episode, and I have to go over stuff. Not to mention, I might need to. It all depends. Like Fuzzy might not be around, or like someone who knows what they're doing might not be around. So I have to kind of coordinate with people for the show.
All right.
So usually, and not to mention, I don't really remember what's up next because I have the one thing tagged. So I have to look through that basically.
You know which material is the glasses?
No. No, I do not.
Huh.
Because Fuzzy's the one that did that found the avatar and did everything basically for it.
Oh,
There it is. Well, there's
it's
the
jacket.
lenses.
I really don't understand how a jacket glasses, but
Yeah.
that should be optimal height. It was right under where it was. So now that we're done with that, I think I really covered much of TMX Editor and a quick way to get through Blender and Unity.
Yeah.
To be really honest, I did not pay attention to how much tries this thing has.
Fair enough. Fuzzy
So
will
if this thing goes
figure it out.
haywire on VR chat, then it's not my fault.
Right.
That's actually it is my fault. I'm too late.
Yeah, Fuzzy will figure that out. That portion out. Usually.
So I guess we're just ending it here.
Yeah, I'm gonna basically end the stream soon. I get to use my new end screen that I made today.
Ah,
So uh yeah, I think that's pretty much over. If you don't have anything else to go over, then uh I'm gonna end the stream, and then if you
so there's not really much else to
yeah,
go over other than the blend shape animation that this thing has.
right. And then
But
yeah,
that's just simple work. So
yeah.
if no one knows how to animate, then what are you doing with Unity, TMX
Yeah,
Editor, or Blender in general?
I think we covered animations in the last stream that me and
Okay,
Fuzzy did.
good. 'Cause if you
How much
didn't,
of a
and
pain in
it's
the ass it
like
is.
all the way over here in TMX, I would have went AWOL nuts on the first video.
Yeah. Luckily, we covered how much of a pain in the ass it is to do animations.
It's not that bad,
It's not
really.
bad. I mean, it's not like a pain in the ass, but it's bad when you have to like move every single joint in the finger.
Uh, well, I think of it as like this. There's 2 points in animation: the starting and the goal. So I call it point A, point B.
Right.
So point A moves to point B, but at the same time, B becomes A.
Right.
So it's like A continuously becomes B, and that's where the end of the animation is until the next variant comes in, which is the next B.
Right. Fair enough.
Good little tip to all you uh, beginner animators. But yeah, I think I'm done.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay then. With that done, then I can if we're pretty much done here. We can end the call, and then I can finish up the stream, and then I'm gonna wind up doing some other stuff.
Yeah, sorry if I went a bit off
No,
track
that's fine.
but,
It was
yeah,
yeah.
see ya.
Yep. Okay, it was great to have him. Basically, so I'm gonna end the stream. I am gonna talk about some stuff. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. Follow if you like the stream. My other media is down below. Basically, yeah, everything was covered. So this will go on YouTube. He will be giving me the link to where he learned BMX stuff and other things for resources. And I will be, there it is. Basically, yeah, I'm gonna be putting the where to get PMX editor down below as well. I'm also gonna be doing that for Blender and Unity as well. I forgot to do that. I'm gonna think of that when I upload that. So yeah. Basically, I'm gonna put the song play through and then I'm gonna end the stream. Have a good day. And I hope you enjoy it.
Cool.
I'm joking, I do.
Ooh, you're done
Hello,
streaming.
Captain.
Yeah, pretty good. You get to show a lot of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How many people? Hey.
Oh, I mean, you get more on those videos, like, as you, like, put them on YouTube, because then people try to look it up. Like, they're not really, like, a stream video, like, because you get... Yeah, because then you can just export, but, like, those videos get a lot of views from just being on YouTube, because everybody... Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, dude, I like that. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay, so there's about not that long left in the song, so basically I am gonna not let the timer completely go down to 0 because, yeah, I only put it up to 5 minutes because sometimes there's more that I need to talk about. So when the song ends, I will be ending the stream completely. So hope you enjoy.
You're still looking at